Chapter 14. That Saturday, Cassandra, Connor, Stephanie, and Tim packed into an innocuous-looking, deep green sedan Tim kept on campus. "Keeps people from knowing I come from the Waynes and the Drakes," he told Connor on their way to the airport. "I can pay for the break-ins, of course, but I'd prefer if I didn't have to." "Roy wants to know if you or Dick are planning to start a new Titans team." Connor leaned against the window. "Said he feels like he's getting too old to keep running around with my dad, and his solo career never feels like it's going anywhere." "I don't know. I kind of have my own team around here these days." Tim smiled as he looked at Stephanie and Cassandra in the rearview mirror. Maybe Roy should try finding Jason Todd and see if they want to be angry about stuff together. "Doesn't sound like Roy's style." "Jason Todd, the second Robin? We had a bad experience with him back in Star City a while ago. Is he still on your streets?" "I got a cut into his ACL, beat him in a fist fight, and made him about pee his pants," Stephanie said. "Don't think he's getting any better after that one." Everyone in the car laughed. Cassandra nearly sank into her seat in relaxation. Those kinds of moments, just surrounded and listening to her friends, were among her favorites. At Connor's advice about being frustrated and happy at the same time, she and Sadie made plans for that night. Tim and Stephanie were coming along with them to a classy restaurant downtown right after the drop-off, so Connor was the only rider in the car with neither a dinner jacket nor a cardigan, though thanks to Cassandra's fashion blindness, Stephanie had to lend one out. Cassandra told herself this was going to be a much-needed break, including from Sadie's college talk. She was determined to avoid that conversation at all costs. Stephanie started putting out her fingers to count. "So there's Original Green Arrow, there's Red Arrow, there's Arsenal." "No," Connor said. "Red Arrow and Arsenal are the same person. He also used to go by Speedy." "Finally, there's someone with as many different identities as me." Another laugh ran through the car. "But is Black Canary the only woman you guys have? Not any teenage girls or anything?" "There's Mia Dearden," Tim said. "She's worn the Speedy costume a couple times. She's mostly retired to take care of Leanne these days," Connor said. "She just started preschool." He smiled and shook his head. "Roy has sworn never to let her wear a costume. But I've heard her tell Dinah she wants to dress up as Little Red Hood when she grows up. And somehow we made it back to Jason," Tim said. The talk went on like that for most of the ride, though the subject briefly changed when they passed a giant wooden skeleton of a building surrounded by cranes and bulldozers. "What's being built there?" "Church," Cassandra said. "Mega church." "Wow." Connor rolled down his window and stuck his head out for a better look. "Goodness, who's building it?" "Church of the Latter-day Open Bible Baptists of Hope. Let's go with that," Tim said. "I know it's a joke, but there really are places that are of the open Bible, aren't there?" Connor said. "Are there any churches of closed Bibles? Are there any churches that aren't of hope?" "They probably just mean more of hope, or more open, or something," Stephanie said. "Would you plant a Bodhi tree that promised to be 25% more zen?" "Can't say I've ever thought about that one," Connor chuckled. A few other conversations occupied the car, but eventually Tim parked outside of the private terminal side of the airport, and the four climbed out to exchange hugs. "Come back soon," Stephanie said. "Don't wait for an excuse or anything, just do it." "I'll try my best," Connor said. Connor and Tim apparently had run out of things to say. Their handshake into a hug seemed to cover things. He and Cassandra exchanged an embrace last. "Glad you're doing well," Connor said. "Take care of yourself." "You too." With some last smiles and a grab at some oddly shaped luggage in the trunk, Connor Hawk departed. It was a little before 6 when Tim's sedan pulled up outside Sadie's driveway. Stephanie moved to the front seat, and Cassandra slipped to the seat behind Tim's, which, again, gave her Sadie's left side. Sadie slipped into the back seat, dressed in a jacket and slacks not unlike Tim's, though her blouse added a feminine touch. "I kept trying to Google the restaurant name you guys gave me," Sadie said to Tim, "but I couldn't find it. Where are we going again?" "Django, with a silent D," Tim said. "Yeah, that would explain the problem," Sadie said. "You said it was a French place or something? I know this sounds ignorant and Irish-descended, but all I know about the French stuff is the snails and the eels." "It's a lot better than that," Stephanie said with a laugh. "Believe me, Tim scared me the first time he wanted to drag me there too. But it tastes great." "Good to hear." Sadie extended a hand and put it atop Cassandra's, their fingers intertwined thereafter. "Sounds like a good night." Tim and Stephanie made plenty of rounds to the restaurant over the years, but it was a new experience for Cassandra and Sadie. Dinner for the four ranged from crepes to bourguignon to cassoulet. Twice over the course of the meal, Sadie asked with a laugh, "What is it we're celebrating again?" "We don't always need an occasion," Tim said. "Sometimes it's just good to have a night out with the people we care about. Steph, he's a catch, and your friend group has really glowed up since 8th grade. Honored to be a part of it again," Sadie said. "I've been wanting to have Cassie out on nights like this with us forever," Stephanie turned toward Tim. "No offense, babe, but this is fun." "It is." Cassandra smiled to Stephanie across from her and Sadie at her right. "We love having you." "Well, I'm always happy to be around." Conversation wandered all throughout the meal. Tim and Stephanie seemed to carefully tiptoe around the subject of college and kept talk limited to school. Sadie talked about her cousin and his wife being out of town for an anniversary or some such occasion, so their house was completely silent when she got home from school. Stephanie swore that if the wine was so tasty when it was in their food, they would have to come back for her 21st birthday so she could try it on her own. Cassandra, as usual, didn't say much. Throughout most of the night, she just sat back, either holding hands or resting a palm on Sadie's knee. For a few precious hours, everything was peaceful. Dinner ended with soufflés and a call for the check. Most of the drive back to Sadie's house was a compliment of the food or a complaint of eating too much. This was only diverted when Tim asked, "Hey, Sadie, Steph and I have some stuff for school we gotta finish up. You mind driving Cassie home? Asking me to spend any longer with my girlfriend than absolute courtesy? That's just cruel, Timothy." The whole car laughed. Soon enough, they were parked outside the house again. Cassandra and Sadie waved Tim and Stephanie off. "Hey, so I'm still full, and we have the place to ourselves for the moment," Sadie said. "You want to come in for a bit?" "I was hoping you'd ask." Cassandra flashed her a smile. "Good." Sadie led her in by the hand. "We haven't had a good night to get cozy."